The Chicago Cubs and the city have finally reached an agreement on the $500 million renovation plan to Wrigley Field. Hydea was shot and killed on January 29th, not too far from President Obama's North Kenwood home. She says it's a win-win situation because it allows her to enhance her skill set and an opportunity for her students to do hands-on work. They have a beautiful gallery that shows paintings and pictures of different gardens and flowers, as well as an artful tablescape for your dinner party. But this ordinance, which was recently passed, has the city helping food trucks by creating designated parking spots in high traffic areas, where residents can report potholes such as this one to the city for repairs. The recent back and forth weather conditions make this a prime time of year for potholes to form. The NATO summit brought leaders from several international countries to the city of Chicago. But that's not all who showed up for the event. I went over to the protesters' parade to see which group was making the most noise. Protesters. Thousands traveled to Chicago for the NATO summit, but Iraq war veterans were the most visible among the crowd. As they marched through city streets, Mary Kirkland stood out among the group. Standing no taller than 5 feet, it was hard to miss her in her oversized white t-shirt that read, "Mother Against War."
I truly thought that once my son got home on American soil, he was safe.
Mary isn't a veteran of war. Her son, Derek Kirkland, was. After serving 2 terms in Iraq, Derek committed suicide. Mary was there to support the veterans. Veterans like Jonathan Anderson.
It weighs heavily to realize that I played such an instrumental part in bringing suffering to so many people.
And so Mary and Jonathan marched, along with numerous other war vets, a group in black, and civil rights activist Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Unstoppable! We are unstoppable!
Mary walked away from the ceremony with being able to tell her son's story, and Jonathan with a little weight off of his shoulders. And Jason, Anderson feels that the war was unjust, and by throwing his medals, he was saying he doesn't want the honor or the tokens that stand for an honor he doesn't believe in. The L. About 700,000 Chicago citizens use it a day. But with all the forms of transportation, is the L the safest option? From 2010 to 2011, CTA crime rose 11.6%, from 3,480 crimes in 2010 to 3,884 crimes in 2011.
Look at the people. I mean, they're easy targets. They're not suspecting. They're trying to get home. They've had a long day, or they're about to have a long day. So that's an easy person.
This Red Line Clark and Division stop was the location of the most recent CTAL crime. A 27-year-old man was victim of armed robbery. However, a group of guardian angels came to his rescue.
It's a volunteer safety patrol, which consists of men and women 16 years of age or older. We're basically a visible crime deterrent. We wear the red beret, the t-shirt. We go out there, we work in groups of 4 or more. We try to deter crime by our presence, but if something happens and it's a serious crime, we make a citizen's arrest.
When a guardian angel is patrolling a train stop, they approach the incoming train to look for suspicious activity. That's because most criminals will try to hop off a train as soon as they commit a crime. That's what happened the night of May 15th, when the guardian angels were patrolling the Clark and Division stop. Fuentes says like this situation, most crimes that occur on the CTA are crimes of opportunity. Passengers fall asleep, listen to headphones, or are just not paying attention. The CTA has been taking strides towards improving passenger safety during their commute. The number of security cameras have been doubled to help prevent crime and to track down suspects. A CTA rep also says this expansion will continue with the arrival of new trains, which will have cameras on the inside. But passengers need to make sure they're being aware of their surroundings. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Josclynn Brandon. The smells of Grandma's Italian home cooking that once started in the city of Bologna, Italy, are now tucked away in a dimly lit brownstone in the Gold Coast. Serving authentic Italian cuisine, Merlot on Maple uses recipes dating back almost 500 years.
400 years old, everybody like. I think it can be likable now, too.
The recipes that are prepared each day by Chef Sylvia are not only hers, but variations of her grandmother's. She began cooking at 18 after finding her grandmother's recipe book and would practice preparing various meals.
This is the beginning, my idea.
Sylvia and her husband Gianpaolo visited the U.S. from their home in Bologna just over a decade ago. Noticing a lack of authentic Italian dining, they decided to stay and open a restaurant.
We are 60. How long we will live? Maybe? Let's do something fun.
And fun is what they're having, while also sharing their Italian history. As you walk through the restaurant, it's hard not to notice the family photos and paintings of their hometown in Italy. The presence of Italian history can be felt throughout the restaurant, not just because of the food or the decor, but because of the love that the owners shared. Gianpaolo and Sylvia met at a young age. She was in the fashion industry, and he sold diamonds, but food was always their passion.
Said one time that Italian people are food obsessed. Okay?
È vero,
so, and it is so.
And as the doors of Merlot on Maple open to his customers each day, the taste of Sylvia's grandmother's home cooking will continue to flourish. Josclynn Brandon, WGN News. And for those of you interested in making sure your voice is heard in this year's upcoming presidential election, there are only a few more days left to register to vote. Registration must be postmarked by October 8th to qualify for the November 6th election. However, for those procrastinators out there wishing to register in Cook County after the deadline, you can do so by visiting the Chicago Board of Elections at 69 West Washington Street.